Ben Affleck's mother Chris Anne's cause of death revealed after the 83-year-old passed away in his home following cancer battle. Sad new details have been revealed following the death of Chris Anne Affleck, the mother of Ben and Casey Affleck, last month after she battled pancreatic cancer. Chris Anne died June 2 from cardiopulmonary arrest while she was visiting her son's residence in Los Angeles, according to a death certificate reviewed by Us Weekly on Tuesday, which indicated that residence was linked to Ben Affleck. The death certificate stated that an additional cause linked to Chris Anne's passing was pancreatic adenocarcinoma, which she'd been dealing with in her final months. Her family revealed the sad news last week following her passing on June 2, according to a legacy obituary.
Wet boots ruining your mornings? This silent, fanless dryer gently dries boots, shoes, and gloves overnight while helping reduce damp odors, so your gear is ready when you are. Want to get the best verified deal and see full details? Visit grabdeal.us/4 right now.
According to her obit, she had been told by doctors she had 6 months to live last December, and her final wish was to see her grandson's high school graduation. She attended the ceremony this past May 31 and died while sleeping just 2 days later. The Daily Mail has reached out to reps for Ben Affleck and the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner for further comment on the story. Chris Anne Affleck, the mother of Ben and Casey Affleck, has died at the age of 83 from pancreatic cancer. The actor and his mother were pictured at an Academy Awards party in 1998. The matriarch of the family is survived by sons Ben, 53, and Casey, 50, and 5 grandkids: Indiana, 22, Violet, 20, Atticus, 18, Finn, 17, and Sam, 14, who were described as the animating force of her last 2 decades. Chris Anne had been born in December of 1942 in New York City. She graduated from Harvard University and was a public school teacher for 35 years prior to her retirement in 2008. Ben, speaking with The Hollywood Reporter in 2012 about his mother, said, "My mother taught public school, went to Harvard, and then got her master's there and taught 5th and 6th grade in a public school." Chris Anne developed a keen sense of social consciousness early in life, as she made the most of an elite education while remaining skeptical of the tightly cloistered world it represented, while attending the school Nightingale Bamford, according to her obit. In one instance, a teacher yelled at her for condemning Jim Crow since she hadn't spoken to the other side, according to her obit. She subsequently called a Woolworth store to inquire if they had turned down business from Black people. It marked her essence of being willing to acknowledge that she might be wrong and never letting that uncertainty be an excuse for inaction, her obit stated. She was a staunch advocate for civil rights and had traveled to the South in the 1960s during a time of social change, according to her obituary. Chris Anne taught literacy classes in Mississippi during Freedom Summer, marched against the Vietnam War, and reveled in 1960s counterculture, her obituary stated. She carried these values into the classroom, according to the obit, as every student, whether just arrived from Haiti or Cambridge upper crust, was a cherished citizen of her classroom republic, equal to each other and to herself. Chris Anne was seen with her son Ben and grandson Samuel in April of 2025. Chris Anne, Ben, and Samuel seen in Brentwood, California in June of 2015. Casey Affleck and Chris Anne seen at a movie premiere in April of 2000. Chris Anne and ex-husband Timothy Affleck welcomed Ben in 1972 and Casey in 1975. In the mid-1970s, they moved to Massachusetts, as Chris Anne taught there. They got divorced when Ben was 12 years old, and Timothy would move to California afterwards. Casey Affleck, speaking to Boston Magazine in 2006, credited his mother for keeping the household steady during the turbulent time. "She always made us go on family vacations," Casey said. "When you're a kid, you just want to stay home and hang out with your friends. You don't want to go to your grandparents' house. But now I love it, and those are some of my favorite memories." She encouraged her son Ben's show business aspirations early on, introducing him to casting director Patty Collins, who had been her roommate at Harvard when she attended college, according to THR. Collins assisted a young Ben with auditions for TV films and commercials. Ben, in a 2007 interview with Parade, opened up about his early days in front of the camera with his mother's support. "I got into acting as a young child on account of a sort of arbitrary thing," he said at the time. "A friend of my mom's was a casting director, so, really as kind of a lark. I had a couple of acting jobs that had just enough exposure to give me the option to continue if I wanted to. I followed through with it." Chris Anne seen with Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez in November of 2002. The mother and son were seen in LA in February of 2018 in Brentwood, California. Chris Anne was very close with Ben's ex-wife Jennifer Garner, as they were pictured in 2009 with Violet and Finn. Chris Anne was behind Ben throughout his show business career and went to the Academy Awards with him and Matt Damon in 1998 when they won the Oscars for Best Writing, screenplay written directly for the screen for their work on Good Will Hunting. Ben recalled to Vanity Fair in April of 2023, "We were sitting next to our moms and we won, and we kind of hugged our moms. I remember how everyone had made such a big thing out of it as if this was such a novelty. I remember thinking, being insecure, like, why? Why is it weird that we're bringing our moms? Who else do you think we would bring?" The obit noted that while Chris was suitably proud of her descendants' achievements, she was delighted when they questioned, defied, or cleverly engaged authority. They had been spotted numerous times on outings in the years after the couple's split. Chris Anne was present for a Thanksgiving celebration last year at Garner's home in Los Angeles, Page 6 reported. Jennifer Garner, Chris Anne, and Ben Affleck seen in June of 2024 in LA. Garner, Violet, and Chris Anne were seen walking in LA in September of 2010. Ben Affleck, Chris Anne, and Jennifer Garner pictured in LA in October of 2014. She had also been to Ben's 2022 nuptials to Jennifer Lopez, braving a health scare the day before with a leg injury before returning to see them exchange vows. She retired from teaching in 2008, but stayed active tending to social causes she held dear. They included campaigning for former President Barack Obama, putting together the Alliance for Water Justice in Palestine, and being a board member for the Sustainable Cape Project in Truro, Massachusetts, her obit stated. After she was presented with the health diagnosis late last year, Chris Anne contacted her pal Josh Lobb to record oral histories of his time as a principal in the South Bronx, according to her obit.